In 1996, a research vessel headed by Brock Levitt and his team searches the wreck of the Titanic. They searched, having in mind to recover a diamond called the Heart of the Ocean. And as they searched on the ship, they saw a box that they assumed contained the diamond. They brought the box out and celebrated even before they opened it. As they break out of the box only contained a drawing. Investor kept calling and Brock was afraid she wouldn't get the diamond. They cleaned up the drawing and saw it contained a picture. A naked woman with the diamond. They went on air and announced their present achievement in the waters. As they broadcast the news, Rose, a 101-year-old woman who was the lady in the drawing, watched the news and called them. They asked her to come on the waters to account for her personal experience with the crash. Rose and her granddaughter traveled to the ship. They were welcomed by a whole team, after which Mr. Puddin gave her the forensic account of the crash. She thanked Mr. Puddin for the account and told him that wasn't how it was watching it physically. So they asking her to give an account of her personal experience. In 1912, the big gigantic ship called the Titanic was built. About that same time, Rose was betrothed to a rich fiancé called Ren Hockey. Alongside her fiancé and mother, Rose traveled down to America on the Titanic. As they arrived at the Titanic that day, sarcastically, Hale commented, "Even God can't sink the ship." They wrote on the first class ticket on the ship. Although Pelt's journey was to kill her dreams as she had no feeling for her fiancé, and marriage was encouraged by her mother because it would. Poor boy, on the luxurious Titanic. Jack and his friend won the ticket to the third class ticket to travel to America in the Titanic. Happily, Jack and Fabio ran to the ship before it sailed. On the ship, Rose set up their luxury rooms and had to go on several dinners with rich people. She called it narrow-minded. On the other hand, Jack enjoyed the breeze of the sea and spent his time drawing other travelers on the ship. After the boring dinner Rose had to attend, she ran out of the ship and stood by the deck of the first class level ship. Jack was by the deck in the lower level and his glance caught Rose. He liked her and he was told immediately by his counterparts that the ladies weren't this trouble. That night, Rose had to attend another party with the same class of people, and she felt irritated thinking that is the type of life she would lead all through her marriage. She ran out of the ship, ran toward the lower part of the ship, and prepared to jump into the water. She ran beside Jack, who saw her and ran after her. She prepared to jump, and she decided you shouldn't underestimate her because she doesn't know how far she can go. Poor boy, Jack and told her to jump will jump right after her. While Rose was still hung for jumping, Jack told her that he had once fallen into the ice and the pain was enough to kill. Rose decided not to jump, so Jack drew her up the rail. Suddenly, she slipped. She begged Jack to hold her tight as she didn't want to fall. She carried her back up while she jumped on him. The ship's security arrived and saw him with Rose. They arrested Jack and Kaladin shouted as to how disgusting it. Rose told them it was an accident and Jack stepped in to help her. To reward Jack for his good work, Kaladin asked him to join for dinner with them the next day. That night, Kaladin went to his fiancée's room and confessed how much he loved her, and begged her to give her heart to him. Back in return, he gave her diamond necklace and told her it was first worn by Louis for and about 54 carats. He wore the diamond on her. The next morning, Rose called Jack and they both strolled on the deck. Rose asked him what he thought about her when he saw her jumping, and he replied that he only felt, "What is this with this lady?" She felt she had no other solution than to jump. Rose seemed to live like Smisher, and over 105 invitation has been sent for her wedding, and she has no other choices than to get wedded. Inquisitively, Jack asked her if she loved her fiancé. She took the statement as unresolved and him to leave the first class deck. She collected his drawing book to check what he had been holding. She saw the amazing drawings in the book and told him he has great talents. And she also saw drawing of naked women. Rose, the Countess, and his Miss Brown were in the copper room. They stood up to take a walk. In the same room, Mr. Ismay, the designer of the Titanic, told the captain of the boat to increase the ship to its full speed, saying it would be more good news if the ship got to New York faster than expected. Captain, who thinks otherwise, told him it's safer to make the ship move in the original capacity. To make Jack and Rose talk about themselves. He told her about his journey around the world and how she travels without any regret. She wishes to live her life in such a manner, and they practice how to spit like a man on the deck. Where they stood practicing, her mother and her friends walked by, and she introduced them to Jack. She told them how Jack saved her life and that Kaladin invited Jack to the dinner. It almost time for dinner, so Rose left. Mrs. Brown asked her Jack she wishes to wear, and informed her to wear his regular clothes. Mrs. Brown brought him into her room and dressed him with her son's cloth, so that Jack looked so radiant. During the dinner, Jack was also unrecognizable that Kaladin commented that he would almost pass as a gentleman. Rose showed Jack all the royalties on her class of ship and introduced him to everyone. During the dinner, he sat with the royalties in the world, with Kaladin trying to make fun of him being poor. Jack shunned his intention away and used that opportunity to inspire. They all toasted to making discount and the dinner was finished. The men who had sat at the table to talk. Jack was invited to go with the men, but he rejected and told them he wouldn't like to go back. Before he left the dinner, he gave Rose a note telling her to meet him at the clock. And she came there. They went to the third class ship. They drank and played still it was morning. The following day, Kaladin got reports of Rose's activities the night before. During breakfast, she got so angry at Rose that she was terrified. While she was getting dressed for the day, her mother also came by. She warned her about breaking off the engagement and told her the impact it would have on their family. She asked her if she wouldn't love and become poor as this would be their fate if she doesn't get married to Kaladin. Rose accepted fate and they agreed to not meet to Jack again. That day, Jack came to check on her, but she was sent away from the first class deck. He later sneaked into the deck to meet her. She told him to get away from her as she doesn't want him. She told him that she loves Kaladin and that she doesn't need. Jack saved her from him. That night, as Jack stayed by the deck of the ship, Rose came to meet him and told him she had changed her mind. She took him to her room, took the diamond necklace Kaladin gave her, wore the necklace and told Jack to draw her naked. According to Rose, that was the almost erotic moment of her life. After the drawing, they returned the necklace and filled the drawing in the safe. Kaladin told one of his workers, Lovejoy, to find Rose, and they were looking all around for her. The captain met with Light Toller, one of the sailors. Light Toller told him the sea is really calm, so it may be difficult for them to see iceberg ahead. But the captain insists they keep the ship in full force, full speed. Lovejoy found Rose and Jack. They ran into the engine room. When they came out the engine room, they saw a truck. They ran inside the truck and hid from Lovejoy. They They started to stare at each other passionately and started to kiss. Rose asked Jack to put his hands on her body, and her passionately had sex with each other. Lovejoy took Aladdin to Rose's room and saw the naked drawing of Rose, and insulting note she left inside his safe. The securities in the ship searched for Rose and Jack. The sailors checking the sea saw a giant iceberg ahead. They alerted the others and they tried to turn back to the ship. It was too late. The ship hit a part of the iceberg. The ship trembles. Rose and Jack witnesses this collision and they left the deck to warn the others. Little did know the Aladdin had planned to set up Jack for stealing his diamond necklace. As they walked toward the first-class ship, Lovejoy greeted them and slipped the necklace into Jack's pocket to frame him for death. When they entered the room, Aladdin had already called the master at arms to report at death. He asked them to search Jack so they found the diamond. Jack begged Rose to not trust all that he didn't steal the diamond necklace, but Rose couldn't trust him. He was arrested and handcuffed at the lower part of the ship. All the knowledgeable people in the ship came together to wait their loss. They urged everyone to lifeboat and save them. The captain asked that they should save women and kids first. Meanwhile, Jack was locked up. Lovejoy punched severely in his stomach and left, taking away the key. The part he was stuck in was already filled with water, and he was about to get drowned. As the high class was about to enter the lifeboat, Rose expressed the lifeboat would only be able to take half the people in the ship, so that half would die that day. Sarcastically, Aladdin commented only the half of that doesn't worth it. He told her he wishes he took the drawing along with him. At the point, Rose realized Aladdin had set Jack up. She left her mother in the lifeboat to go and save Jack. Aladdin tried to hold her down to speak him to leave. She asked for the direction of the prison and Mr. Andrew described it to her. She got there at the time was struggling to stay alive. She helped him break the handcuff. They broke out of the doors and they got the doors of the deck. The doors were locked because only women and children were allowed to go out. Jack and Fabrizio carried a chair and broke the door to get to the deck. Since men weren't allowed to leave, Aladdin went back to his room, took his diamond and took some cash to negotiate his entrance into the lifeboat. He met one of the counter in lives. As he about entered the lifeboat, the lifeguard is so Jack and Rose at the other side. So he left his lifeboat to find them. Rose had already gotten a lifeboat, but she refused to enter because Jack couldn't go with them. Aladdin convinced her and he had another lifeboat and she wouldn't include Jack in his boat. So she should enter the boat. Immediately, she entered. Aladdin told Jack that he was not allowed to enter the lifeboat. Suddenly, Rose jumped out the lifeboat and went back into that. Aladdin told Jack and he was allowed to enter the lifeboat. Jack ran to meet her and kissed. She told Jack and couldn't live without him, of her promises to stay together. Aladdin was jealous. He took the love story and shot at up there. Aladdin talked but was not allowed to enter the lifeboat. Aladdin was running to room, ran back and went to the ship deck. He tried to meet the sailor he negotiated with that sailor, threw his money back at. Claimed him would save women and children. Jack and Rose ran toward the first class level where Rose saw Mr. Andrew. He apologized to her for building a ship that would end up drowning. He gave her and only the jacket left in there. By the same time, Jack and Rose couldn't get back to the deck. Everywhere was chaotic. The ship had broken and one part was in the water. Aladdin pretended as a father of a crying child, so he was allowed into the lifeboat. Rose's mother watched the ship drowning from afar on her lifeboat as she remembered her daughter. Rose and Jack hung to stern rail desperately as they shared their last memories to capsize and completed rounds. Jack hung on to Rose, urging her to swim. They saw a wooden part of the ship. He urged Rose to climb as he wanted to climb. He realized the wood would only hold one person. He asked her to promise him she would stay alive as he hung on to the wood. One of the lifeboats turned back in to save the remaining lives. As she seized the boat, she tried to wake Jack up so they would go there together, but he was dead. She used a whistle to alert the lifeboat. She was saved by the boat. The 700 people saved on the lifeboat waited for another ship to arrive. One of the ships, she saw Kaladin probably looking for her. That was the last time she saw him until he committed suicide after losing his fortune in the Wall Street crash of 1929. She shook the pocket, found the diamond necklace in it. After hearing her story, the whole crew was in tears. Love abandoned his search after hearing Rose's story. Alone, Rose takes out the heart of the ocean, which has been in her possession all along, and dropped into the sea over the wreck site. While she is seemingly asleep in her bed, her photos on dresser, living a life of freedom adventure inspired by her early conversation with Jack. A young Rose reunites with Jack at the Titanic Grand Staircase. Uploaded by those who died.